Dear friends, it is rare that I'm excited. I mean, legitimately, actually, truly excited. Now is one of those times. These are not only my business associates of sorts, but my friends who have one of the greatest products you will ever see. You know me, I don't get behind anything unless I believe it, and I believe in C60. We're going to talk about this. I've got Chris Burris. That's right, the Chris Burris, straight star of stage and screen, and the one, the only, the inimitable, the ineffable, sui generis in her own right, Brobdingnagian and Immane, Patty Greer, the CEO of C60. Lady and gentlemen, welcome back, dear friends.
Thank you so much for having us. This is awesome.
Now, for those individuals who have been in a coma or living in Iraq or part of the Artemis program, what exactly is C60? Let's just get down to business. Chris, this is probably your domain, and you as well, Patty, because there's nobody else here. It's got to be you two.
It's either Patty or me. I love that. There's a presentation. I don't know if you can pull up that presentation. It is one of the guests in your. There you go. Look at that.
But you mean that one?
That one right there. So what we're looking at here is this is kind of cool. Right? Like I'm so lucky I get to be geeky on a daily basis. We're talking about this ESS60 molecule, this beautiful molecule. There's actually a book called The Most Beautiful Molecule, which is entirely about this particular ESS60 molecule, which is no surprise because look how beautiful it is. Now, it was discovered in 1985, and the three scientists who discovered it, Dr. Smalley, Dr. Kroto, and Dr. Curl, won the Nobel Prize in 1996 for that discovery. Our lab actually started making it in 1991, a full 5 years before they were awarded the Nobel Prize. I'm not a very braggadocious person, right? This is as much as you're going to get out of me. It is not unreasonable to suggest that because our lab was providing this material 5 years prior to the Nobel Prize to research institutions around the world, scientists could actually get their hands on it, understand its value, and that drove them to win the Nobel Prize. Now, this molecule is amazing. It performs as well or better than the current best material in almost every application. So it makes better inks, better batteries, better tires, better photocells, which makes people nervous when you're talking about a health supplement. And really, the story gets a little scarier first. This particular shape on the front of this ESS60 molecule is the same shape as benzene. It's not the same formula, but the same shape. Benzene is known to be toxic, known to be carcinogenic. So they thought this molecule would be toxic. They put it in a toxicity study, and instead of being toxic, some amazing stuff happens. We're going to talk about a couple of these. First, instead of being toxic, the Wistar rats that they gave this molecule to lived 90% longer than the control group. And none of them died with any tumors. We're going to kind of dig into that. And then finally, there was this little kind of side study that they did, which was oxidative stress on the liver. Only the ones given ESS60 recovered from this oxidative agent that they injected the rats with. So pretty fantastic. So here's kind of the summary. The background of the study is one group of rats was given water. That's the control group. Another group was given olive oil. That's a semi-control group. And then the final group, of course, the ESS60 rats were given ESS60 and olive oil. A typical Wistar rat lives to about 32 months. And that's why the water rats, those control rats, lived out to about 32 months. The olive oil rats lived out to 38 months, a full 18% over extension of life. So I love the concept that if you're taking olive oil, you should probably be taking more olive oil. It is good for you. But that is still nothing compared to the ESS60 rats, which lived out to 90% longer, out to 62 months. Yeah, no, it's the single longest longevity experimental result on mammals in history, peer-reviewed, published research. And I'm very proud to share that our lab provided the material and our lab is mentioned in that original study. Yes, that exact formula that you guys are holding on to. I'm going to skip this one. It's interesting, but yes, only the ESS60 rats recovered from this injection. It's an oxidative agent. The next piece of this study that was so important was, so a typical Wistar rat, as we've established, lives about 32 months, but it has a known amount of tumor mass in its body. The longer it lives, the more tumor mass it gets in its body. even though the ESS60 rats lived out to 62 months, none of them had any tumors, right? So if you were to project this, they should have had just this massive tumor in their body, but they had none. Now, I've told this story and people have been like, oh, cure for cancer. And I was like, no. And then I add another just to make sure. No, there's a big difference between dealing with a cancer that has metastasized and potentially, as this implies, being a cancer preventative. We know things as simple as good exercise, good nutrition, good sleep are cancer preventatives. I will add this one study. Now, it's a Petri dish study, so kind of the lowest level study, but I think it's very important. In a Petri dish, they had cancer cells and healthy cells, and they introduced an anti-cancer agent. Now, that is a poison. You're hoping to poison the cancer cells before the healthy cells. In the presence of the ESS60 molecule, there was increased efficacy against the cancer cells and protective effects for the healthy cells. So in the presence of ESS60, more cancer cells died and less healthy cells died.
Wow.
This is pretty profound. And you might be going, well, why might that be? Don't you have any theories for this? And the answer is that we do. It's called the B.O.S.S theory. Now, the B.O.S.S theory stands for buffering oxidative stress system. So we don't think of this molecule as like, oh, a great molecule that does some cool stuff. We believe it's a system, an oxidative stress buffering system. And here's what that looks like. So the mitochondria is the powerhouse of every cell. There's between 50 and 5,000 mitochondria in every cell in your body, except for blood cells, which have 0. And then your brain and neurons have 2 million. Lionel, I don't know if you knew how much energy our nervous system uses relative to all of our other systems. By the way, your brain is so sharp, you're even using more than the average person. But think about that. 50 to 5,000 in every cell in your body, 2 million energy sources.
What does that tell you?
Yes. There's a little skew. It's a slight skew in this situation.
I think nature says we're going to put an emphasis on this. That's what I think.
This seems to be important. Let's give it 2 million. So like every energy source, there is a negative byproduct. You think about your car going down the road, there's exhaust. You think about a power plant, there's a smokestack. In the case of mitochondria, there are reactive oxygen species. Now, the way I picture these, they're like little bumper cars where everything, if they're left to their own devices, everything they run around and smack into, they cause oxidative stress, oxidative damage, which sounds really bad. And it is. But like so many systems, biological systems in our body, there is a mechanism to manage these, and that is glutathione and melatonin. Worth pausing here because melatonin is the sleep hormone. Our most consistent testimonial is people take the product in the morning, they report mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night. So you've got this sleep component carrying through this theory. So you can see here where we've got the very nice, tranquil, baby blue reactive oxygen species. They've been bonded with glutathione or with melatonin, and everything is in symbiosis. Now, what happens when you stress a mitochondria? First, how do you stress a mitochondria? I like to point out, if you're alive in modern society, you have stressed mitochondria, right? Whether it's the EMF radiations coming off your cell phone or just off the towers, off of your computer, it's smoking, drinking, smog, it's stressful conversations, it's stressful driving situations. If you live in modern society, you have stressed mitochondria. And that's when that mitochondria starts producing more reactive oxygen species than can be managed internally. You can see there's some of these baby blue ones, they're being managed by the available glutathione and melatonin, but it's producing more. And that's when they run around like little bumper cars, causing that oxidative stress and that oxidative damage. And that's where the ESS60 molecule comes in, right? So again, we know from peer-reviewed published research, this molecule gets into the mitochondria. And we know from way back in the 90s when it was discovered, it can hold up to 6 negatively charged particles on the exterior of the cage. So we believe it's holding on to these negatively charged particles.
Yes.
They can't run around and do any damage.
Would those be the free radicals that we always talk about, the antioxidants? Those are those dangerous free radicals that go out and say, I want to meet and connect with something. And nature says, wait a minute, hold it, stop them. They're out of control. They're rogue. That's the problem. That's the antioxidant part. That's what we're trying to avoid. I love this.
And what Wade would say is like, quick, take some vitamin C, get some orange juice, right? Like flu, cold season is coming on. Let's get those antioxidants into our system to help manage these reactive oxygen species. There's an ad hoc study on the web showing our molecule to be 172 times more powerful than vitamin C.
Yes.
There's peer-reviewed published research, that's where I usually lean, showing it to be 125 times more powerful than vitamin C. So absolutely, that formula that Patty's holding up is a great antioxidant. So now this molecule's holding on to them, so they can't run around like little bumper cars, and they can't run around and do damage. And then when that mitochondria can replenish the glutathione, replenish the melatonin, then those antioxidants can manage them properly, and you escape this situation where the C60 molecule has buffered that stress, right? Has just supported your body's natural process for managing that stress so you don't experience that damage. Pretty important. And then people are often like, well, what might I expect from an experience on this product? And it maps our most consistent testimonial, right? Take it in the morning, mental focus and energy during the day, and then better sleep that night. So on month 1, we're looking at energy and focus. The testimonial that I lean on here is we got some product to an influencer. She took the product, recorded a video, and she pointed out that she didn't finish her cup of coffee that day. Now, if you're a coffee drinker, that's a big deal. I will share, in my case, I used to drink 2 to 3 cups of coffee per day. I'm now down to like half a cup, 1 cup. I think even Patty is like reduced to the amount. She used to drink a swimming pool, like when I visited her over in Colorado, she drank a swimming pool full of coffee with some other stuff. It was delicious, but it was a lot of coffee. Have you backed down, Patty? I think
I do half a cup now.
Yeah. Half of your giant cup or half of like a normal?
I want to know what that other stuff was, which we'll talk maybe perhaps another time.
Well, it's a silver bullet, which has all organic whipping cream, local honey.
Well, the kids are watching, please. Is that what the kids call it? The silver bullet? Okay.
Yes. What I want to do is translate for your audience that might be overwhelmed by the big scientist words, which is what we have is this formula that is this incredible edible oil that won the Nobel Prize 30 years ago now. And you can take it on a spoon or you can take it in capsules and you will have these amazing benefits. And so without all the science explanation, because a lot of people get overwhelmed, it's like...
I gotta say one thing.
Yeah.
I love this science. Let me just tell you one thing. I am so sick of people saying mitochondria, and then that's it. They say, well, what about the mitochondria? Nothing. They just throw it in. We're not obviously going to be doing a graduate seminar on this, but I just want people to understand why Chris is here. There is something to this. We'll talk about it because I will tell you this stuff works. But this is not some guy who throws out the word mitochondria. Everything's got the mitochondria, and they never tell you how. They just use it, and it drives me crazy. This is legitimate. Patty, you're spot on. And I think people want to have legitimacy. We're not selling olive oil. You don't need you for olive oil. It's the olive oil, would you correct, is maybe the delivery system for this. It's the means by which you get this particular molecule. That's what we're talking about. Is that correct? Yes. Would that be a fair assessment?
Well, I think the answer is yes. And olive oil is already amazing for you.
There you go.
You had an 18% extension of life with the olive oil on its own as a semi-control group. Now you throw in the C60 and you're up to 90% in the case of Wistar rats. Right. So, and I'll wrap this up and then we can kind of get into, maybe some nitty gritty kind of testimonials. Month 2, we think about sleep. Right. And the reality is sleep is happening sooner. I've had 2 conversations in the last 2 weeks where people are like, hey, yeah, I've been trying it. I haven't really noticed anything. I'm like, hey, have you noticed any dreams? And they both like get wide eyed or like, oh, yeah, I've been remembering my dreams. I was like, yeah, because you're sleeping better. Like this is happening. Here's how I think. By the way, I'm going to do a little side tangent. We'll do it real quick. Mitochondria and mitochondrial repair is one of the things that you manage in your sleep, right? So you've got this checklist, and one of the things on the checklist is mitochondrial repair, muscle repair, tissue repair, store emotions, store muscle memory, deal with emotions. When you have the mitochondria already has the checklist. It's already taken care of. Your brain and physiology can now go on to the next things,
Wow.
right? And one of them is emotional, like management, which is done in REM, rapid eye movement state, with dreams. And that's why people are remembering their dreams. So
Wow.
sleep is really important. And we can go on to month 3. We have so many powerful testimonials that typically mention like diseases that we can't even talk about because the FDA doesn't allow us yet. All we have to do is a lot of research, a lot of really expensive research, and then we'll be allowed to talk about it. Until then, I'll share my father-in-law was walking around with a cane. At month 3, he started no longer needing the cane and therefore started walking a lot farther. That caused some weight loss, not because of our product, because of the walking. That's the kind of systemic benefit. And really, we summarize the B.O.S. theory as reducing the negative impact of stressed mitochondria. And if you reduce the negative impact of stressed mitochondria, you should have systemic benefits. You should have what we have, which is head-to-toe testimonials.
Now let's do this. May we get back to we can see your beautiful faces. We can start showing this product because Patty, this is when now we need to go to. I don't want to say, Madam, you're more of the spiritual. I think, dare I say, more. What am I? I'm not trying to say cosmic. I'm not trying to say something pejoratively. But tell me about this. Why is this so important? And tell us from your point of view.
I love that you asked me.
One second, Lionel, if you want to, you can maybe pull that. Yeah, there you go. And then we've got your landing page available when we're ready.
Indeed. Thank you.
Okay. So what Chris was saying about the body has 50 to 5,000 mitochondria per cell, but the brain has 2 million. To me, that's the most important element, other than perhaps longer life and less tumors, is having brain function, power, memory, clearing, defogging. That's what most people notice, because when you have 2 million mitochondria per cell, and ultimately Chris is talking about, we're detoxing. By taking this product daily, we are detoxing the mitochondria in the power of all of our cells and cleaning ourselves. And the brain is going to be the first to notice. Because
and here's I'm sorry.
No, it's okay.
No, here's the best part. Now, before people say, okay, all right, okay, you got me with the mitochondria. All right. Okay, what do I have to do? Give me this detailed regimen. I got to take notes. What do we do, Patty? Tell me all you have to do to get this powerhouse C60 mega super duper. What do you do daily?
What you do daily is you get up and you take it before noon on a spoon. Boom, chakalaka, you're done. So I take a teaspoon or a tablespoon. Personally, I like a tablespoon because I like a good rock and buzz all day long without coffee.
I can tell that.
Without coffee. And, a lot of people like Chris and I were talking about, and most of the people we know, 2-3 cups a day, because we do interviews. We want to stay sharp. We want to do research. I mean, I was listening to fresh news within 6 minutes right before going live in case there was something big. And of course there is. My God, the world is exploding now with news. So what an interesting time to be boosting our brain power. And for me, when I take this, my memory is like so much sharper. And that's what people are noticing. My mom is about to be 97, if I can brag. She's outlived most of her friends, and she can still tell me stories. If I quiz her about when I was 13, do you remember? She goes, oh, yeah, and his name was this. Like, what? So elders, seniors, youngins, pretty much 16 and over are going to benefit from a simple spoonful before noon.
And I'm going to add something for what my wife has always told me, you should moisturize. I said, I don't have time to moisturize. I'm 67. I'm beyond moisturizing. It's over for me with my moisturizing. Well, this is the answer. This tangerine, this is Rich Body Cream, Tangerine, and E.S.S 60. This is aromatherapy. I should go blind if I'm lying. I just love the smell. My legs, I'm sorry to say this, were turning into something from a carnival exhibit, like like crocodiles or something. I don't know what it is. This is a humectant, an emollient. I don't know what you want to call it. It is like nothing I've ever seen. That alone is my personal favorite. Absolutely, I love it. What is this? What is that about?
Well, it's interesting you'd ask because the scent we took an extra 4 months to redo. Like I'm that picky about aromatherapy. And the first sample came out, we waited months and we got the formula. And we all smelled it and went, oh, that's not what I was dreaming about in my lucid moments. So Chris is like, 4 months, no Christmas sales. If you send that cream back to the formulator, and I went, yep, it's going back. And now, oh man, it's sold out for the last 3 months. We just got a new load in. C60 Evo, rich tangerine body cream. It smells so fresh. You
So
could,
it's, I'm sorry. So it's in the olive oil, but it's in these. Go to the landing page right here. You can't believe it, but here's what I want people to understand. You've got to take my word for it. We can sit here all day long as they do this. I'm telling you, I am telling you, this is, you will love this. This is, and the reason why I think Chris is here is, and again, this drives me crazy. People just throw these words out, do this. They ask you to do this. And all they do is they throw the word mitochondrial. This works. Now, right now, Patty, let's do this. If somebody says, all right, you sold me. All right, you got me. You wore me down. And people, this is a hit. I'm telling you.
or you
How
pump
did they
me
get
up.
going? How
Now
did they
you wore
get
me
going?
down. You pump me up with that link right there, C60 EVO, like
Right,
evolution.com/, Lionel Nation. Once you
right.
bring up that landing page, and this is what you will see is the cute guy in the middle. And when people say, where should I start? Right here is our top items. Right there, left and right, is the olive oil. You can't lose. This is our #1 formula that received all the rave reviews you've heard about. Ain't no other company. It's C60 from Houston, Texas. We're kind of patriot supporting company. And if people say, how does your mom look so great at almost 97, or all you guys on the air? It's the facial serum, which has the essence of rosemary and a base, first time ever probably, of chia seed oil. And that's because we had an incredible aromatherapy formulator who's written 20 plus books on foods, raw, everything. And anything you buy, you can see down below, it's 20% off or 10% off more for sets if you
Yes,
get a monthly subscription.
that's
So
what you should do. Yes, absolutely.
we find that 70% of our sales every month are monthly resubscribes because people just don't stop. And we don't hold we don't hold you to the fire. If you don't love it, you can cancel it anytime, but most people don't. So we're doing these special offers, not on the website, but yes, on your landing page. If they do 3 items of just about half the things that we sell, #1 and 2 and 3 of our top sellers, the olive oil, if you get 3 of them, you save a percentage. If you get 3 of the inside and out sets, which is the olive oil and the face serum, you save again 20%, I believe, on subscriptions. Now, if you want to try our newer facial serum, it's a 2-part with peptides. The one on the right, the Youth Renew Duo. And again, if you buy 1, it's 1 price. If you buy 3, you save a percentage. And if you take it on a monthly subscription, you'll have a regular percentage on single items. So our top selling best price is you can get 6 or you can get 12. And if you buy a case of 12, you're going to get 25% off. If you buy a group of 6, you'll get 20% off. So these are only on your landing pages for people that want to stock up. Needless to say, a lot of your people are stocking up on water and food and basic supplies just in case. You want to have your Evo because 125 times more powerful than vitamin C is an antioxidant.
Absolutely.
Plus great for your joints and muscles and immunity. It's really a good time to stock up. So that's why we're doing the 3-packs, the 6-packs, or the case. And somebody picked up a case today of capsules. Capsules are great for people that travel because you can take them in your carry-on. They won't pull them out like a bottle of oil. Capsules are great for people that don't like the taste of oil, and you just kind of carry them with you anywhere you go, pop a few here and there, or best to do 6 in the morning, and you've got a spoonful that'll last you all day
This
long.
is I've got to tell you something, and I want people to understand this. And I mean this. I am not. I'm putting this. I'm putting my reputation. I'm telling you the truth. We have been friends for years. We've been promoting this for years. I believe in this so much. We use it. My wife uses it. We are a C60 home. I'm not saying it. It's not an exaggeration, because like most people, when I hear this stuff, I don't believe people. I'm sorry. I thought, oh my God, this works. But this tangerine, I'm telling you, they're all terrific, but this is incredible, because my wife says, you're moisturizing. You're moisturizing. I said, yes, there is hope. This is the most fantastic product, and you two are the most fantastic people. And let me just tell you something. You are so devout. As you can tell by the excitement and the enthusiasm, this is not just a job, it's a calling. I'm not kidding about that. It is an absolute calling. Last time, my friends, go to this right now. Go to our landing page, c60evo.com/solidus or virgule /Lionel Nation, and you will be so glad you did this. I guarantee you. Final words, dear friends.
Take advantage of the subscriptions. You get an extra discount. Some people hesitate, right? Oh, I don't want to get on subscription. You know, our customer service team has 1,000 5-star reviews on Google. They are not trained to talk you out of canceling your subscription. We don't do that. They're trained to help you. They do an amazing job. It just turns out that most people stay on subscription.
Patty, last word.
My last words are, I'm going to brag. I have a bottle the size of my head. Our 32-ounce bottle is how I like to roll personally. But I will say that the only reason straight dude Chris in a lab coat, because he's working at the lab, and hippie girl from Boulder, Colorado, the reason we work together is that this product, without a doubt, saved my life twice. I had some really serious things go on because I used to be in the field of UFOs, and they didn't like people that told the truth. So I ran the risk and made a bunch of movies, and thank God C60 Evo came to the rescue, or I wouldn't be here today.
That's that, by the way, that's going to be the next story. Well, let me tell you something, dear friends. Always a pleasure. C60evo.com /Lionel. I'm telling you, trust me, I wouldn't lie to you. It is simply the best. All the best, dear friends. We will talk soon.
Thank you. Take care.
Thank you.
Indeed.